Welcome back. So, we hear it all the time, right? Blockchain is the future. It's this super secure way to handle, well, everything. But there's always been this one giant catch. It's just been way too slow for the real world. Well, that might have just completely changed. Let's dive into some groundbreaking research that might have just put blockchain in the fast lane for good. Just think about it for a second. We're building this incredible world of smart cars, smart homes, smart cities, the whole shebang. We absolutely need them to be secure, but we also need them to be instant. What if the very technology that's supposed to protect them is the one thing holding them back? That's the exact puzzle we're going to piece together today. So, to really get what's going on with this new solution, you first have to understand just how huge the challenge is. And it all starts with the Internet of Things, or IoT. And trust me, this is way more than just a buzzword. It's the next step in how we live our lives. And the scale here is, well, it's absolutely massive. We're talking about billions and billions of devices. Your watch, your car, the traffic lights on your street, even the machines in a factory. They're all constantly talking to each other, sharing data to make our world work better. But with all that constant chatter comes a really big risk. How do you make sure that the data coming from a heart monitor or a self-driving car is real and that nobody's messed with it? You need an unbelievably tough security system. And that's exactly where blockchain was supposed to be the hero. So, the idea? It was perfect on paper. Use blockchain's legendary security to lock down the entire Internet of Things. But in the real world, it was kind of like hiring the world's best, most trustworthy security guard who could only move in super slow motion. The protection was top-notch, but it just couldn't keep up with the action. And that's the real tug-of-war right there. On one side, you've got this incredible promise, a digital record book that can't be cheated, which is perfect for building trust. But then, on the other side, you have the problem. The lag was just too long for devices that have to make decisions in a split second. You know, this led a lot of people to just assume that blockchain itself was the problem, that it was just fundamentally slow. But what if everyone was looking in the completely wrong place? What if the problem wasn't the engine, but the highway it was stuck on? And here it is. This is the big aha moment from the researchers at Chiba University. The delay, the slowness, it wasn't actually coming from the blockchain's core process. No, it was coming from how all the devices on the network were talking to each other. They were creating this huge invisible traffic jam. Okay, so to get our heads around this traffic jam, we've got to quickly talk about something called network topology. Don't worry, it's pretty simple. It's just a map of the network, who's connected to who and how the information flows. And it turns out in most of these networks, that map was a total mess. Right, so here's the deal. Because of all these messy, random connections, the same bit of data was getting sent over and over again through different paths that overlapped. Imagine 10 different people all shouting the exact same thing at you at once. It just creates chaos, congestion, and these huge digital waiting lines. The whole system just grunts to a halt. So if the problem isn't the car but the road, well, you got to build a smarter road, right? And that is precisely what the team at Chiba University did. They didn't try to reinvent blockchain, they just taught the network how to fix itself. I love this quote from the lead researcher, Dr. Keen Nguyen, because it just gets right to the heart of it. They saw a real-world problem, this crazy high latency. They figured out exactly why it was happening, and they created a solution that was elegant, simple, and this is key, decentralized. And the name for this clever solution? Dual Perigee. It's basically a lightweight piece of code that runs on every single device. Its job isn't to worry about the blockchain data itself, but to constantly act like a super smart GPS, always looking for the fastest, clearest route to its neighbors. And how it works is actually beautiful in its simplicity. It's a four-step dance. First, each device just listens and measures how fast data is coming in from its neighbors. Second, it finds the slowpokes, the connections that are causing all the bottlenecks. Third, it just disconnects from that slope here and looks around for a faster one. And fourth, as every single device does this, the entire network just reorganizes itself for maximum speed, all without a central boss telling anyone what to do. All right, so a self-healing network. It sounds amazing in theory, but what happens when the rubber meets the road? Does it actually work? Well, the researchers ran the numbers, and honestly, the results are pretty stunning. Get this. In a test network with 50 devices, the Dual Perigee algorithm cut the block-related delays by nearly half. I'm going to say that again. a nearly 50% drop in lag, just by letting the devices pick better friends to talk to. And just to give you a visual on that, look at the difference. The standard method, like what's used in a major blockchain like Ethereum, you get these high delays. But with Dual Perigee, that delay just plummets. It's a total night and day difference. But wait, there's more. It wasn't just about beating the old system. The researchers tested it against other advanced algorithms, even its own predecessor. And Dual Perigee still came out on top, winning by more than 23%. I mean, we're talking about a real, genuine leap forward here. Okay, so cutting the lag by almost 50%, that's an awesome technical win. But so what? What does that actually mean for you and me? Why does this really matter? Well, it turns out it could unlock the very future we've been promised for years. As Dr. Nguyen explains it, this isn't just an improvement, it's a foundation. It's the solid ground we can finally build on, creating those mission-critical services, the ones that absolutely have to be secure and instantaneous on top of a blockchain. Just let your mind run with the possibilities here. Smart cities where traffic lights adjust in real time based on secure data. Industrial sensors that can instantly and safely shut down a machine before an accident happens. Healthcare wearables that transmit vital patient data securely and immediately. All of this stuff suddenly becomes possible. You know, what's so cool about this is that it wasn't about some crazy complicated reinvention of blockchain. It was about seeing a problem everyone else had missed, a simple network traffic jam, and solving it with a really elegant idea. And by doing that, they may have just cleared the biggest roadblock standing in the way of our connected future. And that leaves us with this one final, fascinating question. For years, the whole conversation has been about if blockchain could ever be fast enough for the real world. Now that it looks like it can be, the question totally changes. The limitation isn't the tech anymore, it's our own imagination. So, what are we going to build with it?